Hello, it's Sarah from Hardcover Hearts, and I'm here today with a catch and release video that is infinitely more catch than release. As you know or may know, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area and we are in shelter in place currently. My work had requested that those who could work from home do so, and so I actually have been home sheltering in place, social isolation for about 3 weeks now. So I have not had a chance to leave anything in a little free library. I haven't been able to sell back any books. They're all just here. But I am reading more of my own books, and so I anticipate that there's going to be, as we move through this process, you'll see a big release video where hopefully the catches are less and the releases are more. That would be lovely. So let me go ahead and kind of talk you through all the things that I've purchased. And a lot of these, there's a mix here. There's books that I purchased online from the UK. There are books that I have physically bought from my local bookstore in a peak of panic buying and wanting to support them because I could tell that they were probably going to need to be sheltering in place as well. This is before the announcement went out. The official, I should say, announcement went out by our governor, Gavin Newsom. Let's get started because there are a lot here. So first, I've been very taken with Anita Brookner. I've read 2 books of hers lately and have fallen in love with her voice and how she uses language and the older woman kind of dealing with loneliness and moving through life. And so I have decided to do a project where I'm reading one a month. And so I found these. Actually, I'm doing this project with Leo from A Little Book Life. And he sent me these. I'm such a sucker for these penguin, simple design book covers. So this is A Start in Life, which we already read. Next up will be Providence, which is her second book. Just stunning. Wait till you see this cover. Look at me. Pretty remarkable, right? And then Latecomers. So I'm going to be slowly adding these to my collection as we go. Very happy to be doing that. I also have been keeping a wish list on Book Depository. So anytime I hear something that I can't find in the United States, or that it hasn't been released yet here, or is kind of UK only, I just mark it as a wish list, and then I watch periodically. If I'm going to put an order in anyway, I'm going to see if there's any discounts or anything from my wish list that I'd like to bump up. So some of these that you see now are from that wish list. I think I mentioned before in potential mood reading for me was going to be The Court Dancer by Kyung-sook Shin. Very excited about this. You know, I do love my historical fiction, and this is historical fiction, but it's based on a Korean woman who travels to Belle Epoque Paris. So I think that setup sounds fantastic. Looking forward to that. I finally found a copy of the last book that I needed to complete my Burt's list. I'll put a link to that video below. This is a personalized book list that I was given by Bert from Pastori Time as part of a charity thing that he was doing to help support the children, legal fees for the children at the border of the United States. God, it feels so long ago, doesn't it? This book is What You Have Heard Is True, a memoir of witness and resistance by Carolyn Forché. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. I'm probably gonna hold this one off because it feels a little heavier than I can handle right now, emotionally and mentally. So this one's gonna be paused, but I'm happy to finally have a completed set of the books that Bert has recommended. And so far there hasn't been a dud among them. Then also speaking of Bert, he showed this on his channel that he picked it up, I think, at his library. And I do really like this author. This is Sex and Lies by Leila Slimani. And this is nonfiction stories of Muslim women and their sex lives. And so I think that that's really a compelling and interesting setup. Leila Slimani herself is Moroccan. And so I think that gives her special entree and access and own voices to this story. So I'm very interested in jumping into this. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, this one I could not find in the United States to save my life. And this is Square Haunting, 5 Women, Freedom, and London Between the Wars. This is by Francesca Wade. And it is a story about H.D., a modern poet, Dorothy L. Sayers, detective novelist, who I love, Jane Ellen Harrison, classicist and translator, Eileen Power, historian, broadcaster, and pacifist, and Virginia Woolf, writer and publisher. And so her group biography really explores their inner dynamic, their work, what they did, and the specific area in London. So excited to get into this one. Then most exciting for me is a book that I have been waiting for with bated breath. If you follow my channel, you know that I am almost a devotee of Rebecca Solnit. She is a San Francisco writer, thinker, intellectual. She talks about feminism, ecology, nature, Buddhism, gender politics, walking. She's a flaneuse. She's a remarkable thinker, and this is her first memoir, Recollections of My Non-Existence by Rebecca Solnit. She talks a lot about San Francisco, and she and I have some intersections in our past, so I'm really looking forward to getting into this. My understanding is that this is in typical Rebecca Solnit style. She doesn't center herself per se, but uses herself as a vehicle to have a conversation about other things that are going on in the world. And I think she's remarkable. So if you're looking for a Dear Diary type of did this on this day, did this on this day, and kind of event-based, I don't think you're going to find it here. I think you're going to find a different type of memoir, and that I'm here for. Then this is something that I haven't seen in the United States, and I found when I was looking to get that one. And this is Rebecca Solnit's Encyclopedia of Trouble and Spaciousness. She talks very, very much about her discomfort at gender violence and how it has really limited her ability to be out in the world, and the resentment that she has about that. She said something that I found incredibly poignant once. They asked her if she could have anything, what would she want? And she said the ability to walk at night, unobstructed and unmolested and unbothered. I'm absolutely paraphrasing, but that's in essence what she was saying. And here. So that's very exciting. Let's move into some other things. I don't even remember where I found this. Maybe the Costa, maybe Stella. I came across this some way, some shape or form. This is The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart by Holly Ringland. I thought the cover was gorgeous, lovely floral design. And I do find the art of symbology really interesting, where symbols represent certain things and are used as a coded language. I always find that interesting, and I think that is used somewhere here, the Victorian tradition of flowers representing and being coded. We'll see. I don't know too much about it, but it feels like something lighter that might be really good to jump into. Then I fell in love with this author's last work, Days Without End. And so when I heard that he had a new book coming out, I pre-ordered. And this is Sebastian Barry, 1,000 Moons. I thought Days Without End was such a remarkable, beautiful, beautiful story in the center of a real brutal time with interesting characters and an unusual setup. My understanding is this continues with the family that we met then. And I cannot be more entranced and excited to jump into this one. Then I'm always looking for more of this series, the series of editions. Specifically, this is by New Directions paperback, and these are Muriel Spark books. This is Territorial rights, and I just think the graphic, gorgeous covers of these are fantastic. So I think I only have a few more that I need to collect of these. Looking forward to reading that. Let's see. This was something that was recommended through my March Mystery Madness by Teresa, and all sorts of people jumped in and said, yes, this is fantastic. And I could not find it in the US. This is S.G. MacLean's The Redemption of Alexander Seaton. And my understanding is this is maybe a 3-part series, 3 or 4-part series. So I got the first one. I've heard remarkable things about this. I was supposed to go to Edinburgh in June. My trip to London and Edinburgh and maybe even Oxford is obviously up for scrapping based on where we are with the pandemic. So I wanted to read this based on the historical connection and where it was in Edinburgh, but I think I'll still see. I might save this for when I otherwise would be taking that trip. Then, of course, I wanted to get some books that were on the Women's Prize. I chose 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. I'm going to be doing a lovely buddy read of this. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. This is a retelling of the Trojan War. So I like a retelling. I know sometimes the structure, it limits the author a little bit, and sometimes you recognize the choices that they've made and the limitations that they've made in order to stay within the structure that sometimes can make it feel a little hampered or hurried or restricted. But I think done well, it's remarkable. So I'm really looking forward to this and my buddy read. And then I needed to pre-order The Mirror and the Light by Hilary Mantel. And now I'm really bummed because I don't have the matching set, and I do really like to match the editions. So I might have to, once everything dies down, and I don't want anyone to have to go into work just to fill a book order for me. So I'm going to be limiting my book purchasing even online. But once the embargo is lifted, I think I need to get the other two. Because this is such a stunning, stunning cover. But my God, I mean, it would be great for March of the Mammoths if I could actually focus on reading, but I'll be delayed on that one. Then I had a few Book of the Month Club options that came through. Really happy about this one. The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abi Dare. Look at that gorgeous cover. It's been a while since I've read a book set in Africa, so needing to get back to that. As you can see, I have plenty to keep me occupied during the shelter in place. Now I just need to get my reading mojo back. Starting to make some progress with that, and so I hope that you all are finding your reading mojo and being able to find some release and maybe a few moments or hours of respite from the chaos in a book right now. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments about any of the myriad of books that I've listed here, please let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I'll look forward to talking to you later. Bye.